So let's talk a little bit about the syntax. A class can be defined almost anywhere in a code file. A class can be defined in a namespace, a class can be defined in another class. A class cannot, however, be defined, actually, that's the only two places you can define a class, in a namespace or in another class. But the reason I say it's almost everywhere is because the vast majority of your software is either in a namespace or another class. You cannot define a class in a method, so just keep that in mind. Alrighty. So right here we define a class. We know we're defining a class because we start off with the class keyword. That's how we tell C# we are about to define a class. And we give it a name. The name follows the same rules as every identifier in our program. So it follows the same rules as far as what you are allowed and not allowed to do as parameters and local variables and all that fun stuff. That being said, the convention of a class name follows the same naming conventions as method names, meaning you should always start with an uppercase, and if you wanted to delineate more words, then you would use camel casing from there on out. Okay, then we open up a block, and that's a very, very common theme in C# or in any curly brace language, really. So we open up a block, which means everything within this block is contained within this class. Inside of the class, we have what are called members. Again, all we're doing here with this class definition is we are defining a blueprint that we can use over and over and over and over again within our software. And every time we instantiate a new one of these blueprints, we get a new object. And those objects, they're related in that they share the same class, but they're not related in that they contain their own data. So product 1 and product 2 contain their own data, but they're not, they are the same class. So remember, a class is a blueprint, or it's a template. It's like, you know, something that you can just stamp over and over and over and over again and use within your software.